Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. You join me today for day 15 of the UK lockdown, where I'm currently sat square-wheeled in the old jalopy on my driveway once again, and it's currently about 7 PM as I'm making this video. And the reason I've left it so late today, folks, is because I've wanted to take advantage of the fantastic weather that the UK has experienced today. It's been lovely, warm, not a cloud in the sky. And I've spent today with Mrs H, little Toby James, and our family dog, Lucy, in our own surroundings, in the privacy of our own back garden, just enjoying the day and doing nothing and soaking up the rays. So that's why today's is an evening helping of hot pot and not a morning helping of hot pot. I've forsaken the daily walk today so that I could enjoy being with my family. And to be honest with you, moving forward, I think I'm going to be doing a little bit more of that, because it's raising my spirits a little bit, just being with my family. Because it's not very often you get an opportunity in life to just spend time with your family and do absolutely nothing. Even when you go away on holiday, there's always something to visit, there's always some attraction to go and see, or something to do, or something that needs doing. So it's very unique, this opportunity, and although it could have been born out of better circumstances, we are stuck with this situation, so we may as well make the best of it, really. And that's the way I'm going to be looking at it moving forward. The glass is half full, not half empty. And I hope people can take a little bit of positivity from my way of thinking. I hope many of you do adopt that way of thinking. I know not everybody is in a unique position where they've got a back garden. You know, they may live in a flat, they may live in a terraced house where space outdoors is limited, or they have to share it with other tenants. All I can suggest people do there is just try and use what you have. Now, for me, going outdoors and going out into nature is one of my guilty pleasures. I really enjoy doing that, but it would seem that one or two of you out there don't agree with that. You know, you think I shouldn't be doing that for whatever reason. You know, I should be staying indoors and not coming out. And their interpretation of the government guidelines is way off the mark, to be honest. And I don't know where some people are coming from when they start leaving comments. I mean, I had one guy, and please, before I say what I'm going to say, I don't want anybody to go over and give this individual any kind of grief on my behalf. I do appreciate one or two of you going to bat for Team H, but it's best not to engage with these people and just leave them to their own small-minded and their own ill-informed views. But this particular individual came on, and like I said, I'm not going to name names or shame anyone, but they said, I hope this man gets handed a big fine by the police and that they see these videos. Or words to that effect. I can't quote verbatim, but that's the gist of it. And they then went and left another message that said, I can't stand this man's views. Well, to be honest with you, if you can't stand my views, why are you watching my videos? Why is it taking you to get to day 14 before you suddenly realise that this isn't for me? You know, who's the bigger fool here? You know, if you've got to that stage. You know, I mean, I know that in the days when I used to watch television, live television that is, if a programme came on, I didn't watch a whole series of it before I decided this isn't for me. After a couple of episodes, I said, I don't like that, and I stopped watching it. And that's what I suggest you do if you genuinely can't stand my views. But you do get that, and I'm quite dismayed that one or two people have come on and that they're so well informed that they believe that despite the police now issuing guidelines that you can use your vehicle to travel a short, or what they term a reasonable distance, to go and take your daily exercise, that they believe that you shouldn't be doing that. You know, it's akin to someone coming on one of my TV licensing videos and saying, although you don't watch television, you still buy a licence anyway. It's crazy. It's crazy. All I ask people to do on my channel is be respectful. You know, as I've always said, and I'll repeat once more, everyone's entitled to an opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own thought process and their own ideas on the current situation. But despite having your own opinions, you must remember that that's all they are, an opinion. And you know, I'll put this into a comical scenario, but how long do you think it would be before somebody told me to mind my own business? If I went out on the streets and every person that I saw who was sparking up a cigarette, or, you know, they were puffing away on a tab end, I went and read them a riot act and I told them how I feel about smoking, which is something I don't agree with. But that is my opinion. And I would be wrong if I tried to force it on other people. So, bear in mind, going forward, if you would, Hot Potters, just be a bit respectful. Not just to me, but to other people as well. You know, when you're leaving your comments. The last thing I want to do is to have to start policing and censoring comments, because, you know, that's not the way to go. I don't want my channel to go that way. And this is why, normally, other than the TV licensing videos, I keep away from political issues and that, and I try and stick with having a look at something or documenting something. You know, that's why I keep away from these kind of videos normally. The only reason as I'm making them is Hobson's choice, really. I'm stuck with it. I would love to be able to get back out there and film something about Fred Dibner or George Formby, or just get out there and take a look at a little curiosity, something architectural that's interesting. But unfortunately, we can't do that at present, Hot Potters, so I'm stuck with making vlogs and things like that, because I do enjoy making videos. On a lighter note, and getting away from that, many of you left comments and giving me advice on how to try and shrink my heart back to the size of my old bald bonce. And many of you said try heating it at a hot temperature and that should shrink it. I have tried that, and unfortunately it hasn't worked, so it looks like I'm going to have to retire the old hot pot hat and get a new one when the opportunity arises. I think I'll try and get a more bespoke one next time, and I will keep away from the Chinese crap, as many of you have advised that I do, and I'll try and get Mr H's hot pot embroidered on it for future videos, for when the weather turns a bit chilly. Hopefully I won't need a hat moving forward, and the weather's going to improve and the lockdown will be lifted rather soon. I am preparing myself for at least another fortnight of this, if I'm being honest, Hot Potters. I think we will be told, and an announcement will be made, that we're going to have to stick with present conditions for now. But we'll just have to see how it goes, won't we? We'll just have to see how it goes. A big thank you to everybody who's let me know that the letter from supposedly Boris Johnson has arrived in the post. I've yet to receive mine, but it's been interesting to see an insight into what they've put in this letter, really. It's just been designed to try and lift people's morale, really, just as the Queen's speech was the other evening. And despite me personally thinking the Queen's speech was a waste of time, I suppose if somebody has taken inspiration from it, at least one or two people, then it's done a bit of good, hasn't it, really? So, folks, I'm going to wrap this video up now. I'm going to keep it short this evening. There's not really a lot been going on in the news, has there, other than the major bombshell that Boris Johnson has been admitted into intensive care. His battle with COVID-19 has taken a rather sinister and dark turn, really. All any of us can do is wish him well, you know, hope that he pulls through it. I believe somebody left a message and said that if he ends up on a ventilator, then his chances of survival are greatly decreased. I hope that's not the case. I think the last Prime Minister who died in office was in 1865. Let's hope that record remains and Boris Johnson pulls through this one, irrespective of what your political affiliations, leanings, or how you voted in the general election, or whether you agree with Brexit or not. When all's said and done, Boris Johnson is a human being and he does deserve our support at this moment in time. And on that note, folks, it brings me up to the magic 10-minute mark. So I'm going to wrap it up here, and that'll do it for today. Stay safe as always, and until the next time, bye-bye for now.